Hello friends, good morning to all. Today we are going to see the chemical and biological characteristics of soil. In the previous lecture we have covered physical characteristics of soil, and in this lecture we have to see chemical and biological characteristics of soil. Particularly in the chemical characteristics we have to cover soil pH and electrical conductivity. So let us see what is meant by soil characteristics, or which are the soil characteristics of the soil. First chemical characteristics of soil is soil pH. Soil pH is the most important properties that affect the total availability of nutrients, which have a profound influence on the plant growth. Whenever there is a favorable pH or suitable pH or optimum pH in the soil, that soil favors to growth of the plants. Otherwise, whether it is low and sometimes it is high, at that time it affects on the overall growth of the plants. The pH value ranges from 0 to 14. The soil which have 7 pH are neutral, and the soil which have a below 7 pH indicates an acidic soil, and the soils which have more than 7 pH indicates an alkaline soil. This is the range of the soils, and as we know, and I have already explained, that when there is a neutral soil, means no acidic and no basic, this alkaline, no acidic and no alkaline, at that time that soils or those soils are useful for the plant growth. Most of the plants flourished when the soil pH is in between 5.5 to 7.5. When the pH is below than 5 and more than 9, it becomes serious for crop development. And most of the areas wherever there is more soil pH, these areas are not suitable for the plant growth or for the agriculture, and most of the farmers are facing nowadays the problem of soil pH. Particularly the grape growers and particularly the fruit growers are facing the problem of soil pH, because the soil pH determine the overall plant growth as well as the quality of the fruit, shining, its ripening, its weight, its color and everything. So soil pH is very important aspect in the soil or of the chemical characteristics of the soil. Next characteristic is electrical conductivity. The total salts available in the soil indicates salinity of particular soil. The total salinity test indicates the saltiness level of the soil. Whatever the salt available in the soil, that determine the electrical conductivity. The total salinity measured in electrical conductivity. This is measured in millisiemens per centimeter, that is in short ms per centimeter. The primary effect of excess salt retards the growth of the plants by controlling the absorption of water. The main obstacle or main barrier in the development of crop in of the soil is whenever there is a more salt, there is a more electrical conductivity, and electric conductivity retards, or more electrical conductivity retards the soil water absorption, means it does not allow crop to absorb the water. The storage of salts or ions in large quantities in plant cells may prove toxic. The more proportion of salts in solution increases its osmotic pressure and reduces the uptake of water. The growth of vegetables is restricted by more salts. And most of the areas of Nasik district also facing the problem of electrical conductivity, particularly wherever there is more irrigation or more use of water. At the same time, whenever farmers use flooding system of irrigation, that flood system is not favorable or not suitable for the crop or particularly for the soil, because there is a waterlogging, and that waterlogging helps to increase the salt, or to overall salt proportion get increased, and that helps directly to the increase in the electrical conductivity. And the areas wherever there is more irrigation, particularly in Nifad and Dindori Tehsil, we are facing, or farmers are facing, the problem of electrical conductivity, and particularly the problem of more salt in the soil. And sometimes there is some major measures for the minimize of the overall salt. Some farmers can grow the eucalyptus plants in the fields, as well as some farmers are using gypsum in the soil. Means they can add gypsum in the soil, and it helps to reduce the overall salt of the soil. Whatever the salts uh, comes upward due to the over irrigation or due to the flood system of irrigation. So this is all about the electrical conductivity, and these are the two main chemical characteristics of the soil. Now we have to see the biological characteristics of the soil. First one is flora. Flora means plants. Whatever the plants, herbs, shrubs, trees and vegetation available in the soil, that also one important characteristics of the soil, because soil only uh, does not helpful for the growth of the plant, but flora means vegetation or plants also useful to grow the crops, because flora emit or exit the release the carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, and that carbon dioxide helpful for the growth of the plants, growth of the crops. And that's why the fields wherever there is more flora, or wherever there is more vegetation, more plants, the in that field the crops can grow easily, or crops can grow very faster as compared to the fields wherever there is no any type of flora. So flora is very important, because flora not only for the useful for the carbon release of the carbon dioxide, but it it does not allow water to go easily in the in the outside area, and that reduces the flow of the water even in the rainy season. That's why flora is important, because the roots of the plants or vegetation binds the soil particles, and that's why soil erosion does not occur in the field. So this way the flora is very important. Next is the fauna. Fauna means animals. Which animals are available in that particular soil or field, that is also important. Particularly earthworm is a very important fauna or animal, which determines the quality of the soil, because earthworms are the it is said that earthworms are the friends of the animal, because main food of the earthworm is itself a soil. It eats the they eats the soil, and whatever the for whatever their uh, whatever their dung behind they left, that is also useful. Means whenever they whenever the earthworms enters into the soil, again they comes upward, go downward. That process helpful uh, for the aeration of the soil, in aeration of the soil, particularly in the field. That is also very important. Not only earthworm, but some reptiles, some birds, some frogs, and many animals, sometimes rats even. That animals are also useful, and that also maintaining the overall biological characteristics of the soil, or that they also determine the overall biological characteristics of the soil. Next is organisms. Organisms means bacteria. So which bacteria are available in the soil, that also determines the quality of the soil. Some some very useful bacteria are available in the soil, as like rhizobium, azotobacter, trichoderma. That organisms makes the quality soil and useful for the farmers. and at the same time, whenever the plants grow in the soil, if there is a variety of organism in the field, that crop or that vegetation is also is really a good quality vegetation, or a good crop, or cereals, or fruits, or many more. So all these three things are important in the biological characteristics of soil, that is flora, fauna and organism. So this is all about the biological characteristics. So today we stop here. Thank you. Thank you very much.